PC prices have now launched on foottrading.co.uk. You guys asked for them, we have given them to you. Over 660 PC prices for special cards, gold cards, all that sort of stuff over on foottrading.co.uk. A tier 1 subscription which includes silvers, icons and special cards for Xbox and PS is £10 a month. And a tier 2 subscription is live filters. We have the buying and selling prices for nearly 1,300 special cards, 300 icons and every single profitable silver card filter on this game. For tier 2 you also get access to the live filters feature, which is one of our most popular, and My Trade Storage, which is a custom built storage platform for you guys to store the trades you've made and see your profit in real time. So check out foottrading.co.uk, but for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, please do consider subscribing down below. Clicking the like button, all that good stuff is massively appreciated. Apologies for the fact we haven't had a couple of videos for a couple of days. I just wanted some time off for Harrison. It was his birthday this weekend, so some time with him. We've been streaming a bit longer, getting to 4.5 hour streams, so I was focusing on that and getting my mindset on that and streaming Champs live. And really this video is a follow-on from those streams though, because a lot of people have been asking me about my custom tactics. This year I set out to get better at this game and start getting higher ranks, and I've worked hard at that. Have I played thousands of games? No, not at all, but I've learned how the meta works. I learned how I like to play. I've learned what works, what doesn't work. And I've also learned to start watching my games back to start realising where I'm making mistakes. And because of that, I've consistently, and I've done it again this weekend, been hitting elite. If I don't get any disconnects, then chances are I will hit elite. That's the leaderboard there. Where's there? Is there? How do I go onto it? There we go. No, wrong one. We don't want replays. We want to go to leaderboard. There we go. Elite 3 again. I'm actually a little bit triggered I didn't get Elite 2 this week. I was 20-4. I then lost the penalty shootout where twice my keeper dived and pulled his hands away. There's inexplicable. I don't know why he did it. Which is frustrating, but that's the game. The game costed me on that one. And then I got disconnected my very next game when I was winning 2-0. That probably would have seen me get Elite 2. But it is what it is. These things do happen. I'm not going to cry too much. It just would have been nice to have picked up Elite 2 for the first time this year. But a lot of people have been asking me about my custom tactics and how I've got better and what I've done. Now, this is my team that I play with. Now, it's important to note that most of these players have only come into my team around TOTW'S. I was getting Elite before TOTW'S. I've just improved my team bit by bit. But this is no FIFA points spent. I only trade. Those of you that watch my channel normally know that I trade. I make coins every week. I can make 4 or 5 million a week if I really, really want to push it. And I have been doing that. But I've been using those coins to do upgrades or things like that. This team's fine. It does the job now. It's been perfectly fine for me to get elite with. So there's not really much that I'm bothered about upgrading anymore. I'm not going to lie. But this is the team that we play with. But we should get into the custom tactics because that is what you are here for. Now, I know a lot of people have loads of them. 4-2-3-1 I've got there because I tried it out. I didn't like it. I only have 3 custom tactics because I don't really feel like in a game you're going to cycle through 4 of them. Realistically, I only have 3 and it's these 3 here. We'll start with the one that is the most important one to me. And that is 4-4-2. In my opinion, it is the most meta formation this year. Especially if you're not the best player. For me, I'm a good player at FIFA. And I've now become a very good player at FIFA without ever getting anywhere near pro level. But I'm a very good player now. And 4-4-2 for me is the most solid formation. We'll start off by talking about the sort of team game plan. And then we'll move on to like formation and everything like that. But yeah, defensively, I tend to play 6 depth. I don't like 1 and 2 depth. It bores me. I want to attack. I want to have fun on this game. It probably cost me a game a weekend when I'm standing too high and someone's good at breaking that down. But I don't like 1 or 2 depth. I think for me, my wins in Weekend League would be tainted if I was on 1 or 2 depth because there's no skill involved in just sitting back and hoping to counter with fast players. So I play higher depth. I play 6 depth. I play 5 width, which is standard, balanced on the defensive style. Offensively balanced. I play 5 width, 5 players in the box. The players in the box, I'd suggest going even lower if you wanted to because people don't score crosses this year. It's very rare. The only reason why I leave it a little bit higher is because there are times where you will get down the byline and cut it back and you want that player in the box. And so for me, I might have my 2 strikers run in and then Hullet follows in behind. So the 2 strikers have been marked by the centre-backs and then I cut it back to Hullet who then puts it in. So for me, that's about the right mix. In terms of corners and free kicks though, I do 2. I know some people do 1. You don't score very often from corners and free kicks. And what I tend to do is I tend to play my corners short and do 1 of 2 things. I either play it to the edge of the box and have a crack with the player there or then lay it off to someone else. Or I will fake shot. I'll pick the ball up. So let's say, for example, I've called Neymar to me. I'll fake shot into the box and then either cut it back or put the pass into the near post, cut that back and have a shot. I rarely cross it from corners. So for me, I don't want loads of people in the box. I want people in and around the box as an option for when I lay it off, but I don't really want any more than that. So that's the team stats. Like that's how we do things with set up on the team. Formation-wise, I play Richarlison and Lucas Moura up top. I play Neymar left mid, Pele right mid, De Jong and Gullit through the middle, and then obviously the defence as it should be. I know a lot of people are like, how can you play Neymar out wide? I use Neymar as a playmaker, and I'll explain to you in a minute what I mean. But I don't use my 4-4-2 in the same way that other people might do and use wingers just bombing up the wing. I tend to use those wingers as playmakers to get other people into the game, and that will come pertinent when we look at this. So these are my player tactics. So both of my two strikers are on stay central. I've got Richarlison on target man, and I have Lucas Moura on getting behind. I don't want both of them running away from me. What I really want is a player to come in and link up play. And then what Richarlison does is he acts, if you watch Liverpool, he acts like Firmino in terms of the ball comes to him, he can then lay it off to Pele, into Neymar, into Lucas Moura. He will shoot and he will score goals for me, but I prefer that option. I prefer having someone coming short onto me. Both my wingers are on comeback on defence, and they're both on getting behind, and they're both on getting to the box for crosses. Both of them are the exact same. Now, reasons for that. Comeback on defence is obvious. If they come back and provide me defensive stability, although I play a high depth, because I play a high depth, I need to have numbers that are in and around swarming my opponent in sort of the midfield as they're pushing towards my box. So I have to have my wingers on come back on defence. If you play high depth, it's, in my opinion, signing your own death warrant if you don't have people come back on defence in that sense. Get into the box for cross. The reason for this is, if I run down the wing with Pele, if I do that, what will happen is you'll see Neymar push towards the edge of the box, or he'll be there for any follow-up. So, let's say I take Pele and I either shoot with him and the keeper saves and parries it away, or I lay it off to Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura then has two options. I can either then go back to Pele, I can then go to Neymar who's on my left, or Richarlison that's in the box. And it just gives me that option if they're a bit tighter up top, and I notice that's how it works. I prefer that in my opinion. So that's why I put them on getting to the box. And getting behind, the reason for getting behind is I have Richarlison on target man. So I pick the ball up with Gullit, the ball comes to Richarlison. Imagine I'm facing Gullit now, I've got the ball. I've now got Pele making a run this side of me. I've got Neymar making a run this side of me. I've got Lucas Moura making a run behind me. And I've got my two centre mids here covering me. So if I can get turned with Richarlison, I've got three to aim for. And that causes panic for my opponents a lot of the time. So for me, that's important to have those three guys making those runs. And that's why they're both on getting behind. I've seen some people say they prefer just to have them on, is it balanced attack here? Yeah, balanced support. I prefer getting behind without a doubt. Two central midfielders. Because I've got my wingers on come back on defence, I don't need to worry about cover wings, so I have both of them on cover centre. The only difference I have here is De Jong on stay back while attacking. Just provides me a bit of defensive stability. It allows Gullit to bomb on, De Jong covering if need be. It doesn't mean De Jong sits in front of my defence the whole time. He will come forward naturally and I will bring him forward. But I like his default to be that he is covering off for Gullit's runs and my attacking runs. And obviously De Jong is one of the best at doing that on this game, so ideal. Defence, relatively simplistic, all as they should be, except both my full-backs are on stay back when attacking. Doesn't mean I don't bring them forward, it just means they come forward either side they're coming forward. So if I pick the ball up with Robertson, I can then run on and make passes in and play 1-2s and things like that if I really, really want to. But it just means they're not getting up too forward. This game's so sweaty, a lot of people play that one depth in the hope you bring loads of guys forward and then they counter on you. So that sort of nullifies that threat to a degree. But that for me is the 4-4-2. It is without a doubt, in my opinion, the best formation on this game. Next one I'm going to talk about is the 4-1-2-1-2. Now, this is my formation, my go-to formation when I want to see a game out. If I'm 1-0 up, 2-1 up, and this guy's pushing me, 4-1-2-1-2 is why I do it. And the reason for it, it's much more compact. So I play 4 width, 4 depth. And the thing to note about that, I like 4 width. It means you are going to have to bring players out wide to come and cover off your opponents. You're going to have to bring people out wide to come and cover off your opponents. It's massively important that you do that. Go back onto it again. But the reason I like that is it stops the play through the centre. It forces them out wide. And as you know, crossing this year is a lot less effective. So if I can compact myself up, make them go wide, and either make them cross it in or cut back in again, that's fine. So long as they're not breaking down my defence, I don't mind that. Offensively, we go 5 width. We go 4 players in the box. So we go less this time for crosses. I don't want people bombing on too much or getting caught out. I only want a couple of people in the box. And again, 2 and 2 on corners and free kicks. The formation itself, we play Moura and Richarlison up top. I always play these guys up top. Richarlison is brilliant, but he has to be a striker. Neymar plays cam. I have De Jong at CDM, Gullit and Pele playing central midfielder and defence as it is. Instructions here are pointless. Same thing again, target man getting behind. That doesn't change, in my opinion, any formation. You want 1 target man, 1 getting behind. We have Neymar. All we really do with him, realistically, is come back on defence. Nothing more that he needs to do. I'm quite happy with Neymar just floating about, to be honest with you. It's not a problem to me. De Jong stay back while attacking. and I've got him cover wing, which is not, he's meant to be cover centre, so you change that back. He'll stay centre. The reason for that is if I need to cover the wing, I bring out these two guys here in Pele and Hullet. They'll get across to cover out the wings if I need to. To say somebody is attacking me, what will happen is De Jong will stay central and cover off the pass inside, and you'll see Hullet and Pele will cover off the wings as if they were wingers, if that makes sense. So by doing that, it means that on defence, I've actually got 7 players that are back solidly sitting in front of my defence, or with my defence included, sorry. It just stops that. Neymar comes back as well, and we leave Lucas Moura and Richarlison somewhere up the pitch. One of them usually tend to drop in a little bit, but that works perfectly. Again, full-backs both stay back while attacking. If I want to bring them up, I'll bring them up myself. I think this year's mechanics with attacking on full-backs is pretty broken. The thing to note about this formation, the 4-1-2-1-2, is it's very good for attacking. It's very good for seeing that a game. I know some people go to like 5 backs and stuff. I just don't like that. The only thing that I would note with this formation is the lack of width. And you do not want your players being pulled out of position too much. I might use Pele and take him out to the wing and take him out wide. But more than anything, I use Neymar as my winger. So for example, if I'm attacking, I'll try and get Neymar out wide. Even though he's a cam, I'll try and push him out wide. Hullet and Pele will just normally push on forward and sort of fill up that sort of cam role if I need to. But I'd be careful not to get yourself too out of position with your centre mids going too wide, because that allows them to break you down in other ways. So that's what I do. And the final one that I use outside of this is 3-4-1-2. Now 3-4-1-2 is when I'm losing the game. It's still a relatively good formation. I've seen people play it at standard. People in the Discord play it at standard this year. I'm a massive fan of 3-4-1-2. Defence styles, press after possession loss. I want to make my opponent panic. I want my players to chase the ball down. I will also put myself on team press if I need to at this point. If I'm chasing a game 1-0 down, 2-0 down, I usually go to maybe 3-4-1-2. If I'm 1 down, I might wait till the 70th minute. If I'm 2 down, maybe 55, 60 minutes go on to this. But 5 width and 5 depth, so we're going to push up too much. The reason I don't go 6 depth on this is because I've only got 3 at the back. So it seems weird that on the 4-4-2 I go 6 depth, and on the 3-4-1-2 I'm chasing the game I go 5 depth, but I've only got 3 defenders at the back, so that's what I do. Offensively, I go very, very wide with this. Very, very wide with this formation. And the reason being is you have a lot of players on the pitch. I don't want them getting too close to each other, and it becomes hard to pass in and around. So I go quite wide. I think I go 6 width is usually what I do. Sometimes I even push into 7. I want my wingers to stay quite wide. I want them to stay really, really wide and allow the other players to do what they're doing. But I want them to hug the touchline so that I can put balls into them. They get down the wing. I can then cut it back inside to my centre mids, my cams. Or if I'm really feeling fruity, I can cross it in for the strikers, or I can cut it into the area, across it sort of low cross in the area to get to my wingers. So width is important. But players in the box is still relatively low for this formation. And the reason why players in the box, especially for the 3-4-1-2, is low is because you are playing a very attacking formation. I do not want to get caught out on the counter. So I'd rather, again, my players sort of hover around the edge of the box and I work them in than them to all bomb into the box. I cross it, it gets cleared, I get countered on and they score. So be mindful of that, it's important. Corners and free kicks, again, the 2. Formation-wise, Richarlison Moura striker, again, won't be surprised to see that. Neymar cam, Pele right mid, Robertson left mid, De Jong and Hullet both in central midfield, with Carvajal, Militao, Diego Carlos at the back, as you'd expect. Instructions for this one: both my attackers are on stay central, getting behind. I do not have a target man on this one because I do not need it. I have so many players that are moving forward. I do not need a target man in this formation, so I have both of them on getting behind. Neymar, I do nothing with at all. I do absolutely nothing with. I don't have him come back on defence or any of that. I just have him playing cam. He essentially acts like a target man if I'm attacking instead of Richarlison. So the ball comes forward, Neymar picks it up. I see both my strikers making a run. It's a quick ball in. It's supposed to be a quick attacking formation. I'm not here to hold the ball 24/7. I need to score a goal. Wingers, both on comeback on defence, both on getting to the box for crosses. Again, the exact same reasoning. If I get Robertson onto the byline or I get him to the edge of the area, I want Pele as an option, either in the box if I shoot to pick up any rebounds, or if I'm then crossing it in low for Pele, or he's just in and around the play that way. He's not sitting wide of the game, he's in and around the game, which is important. Central midfielders, De Jong again, stay back by attacking cover centre, and Hullet again, just standardly as he is normally. I'll choose when I take him forward, but cover centre again. It's always important for me for cover centre. Forget cover wing, you don't need that. You've got 2 wingers out there coming back on defence. And my attackers, on my defence, sorry, just on stay back while attacking. It's really simplistic. But in my opinion, they are the 3 best formations on the game this year. 4-4-2 for me will forever be the best one. If you can nail 4-4-2, it may take you a week to get used to, play a lot of div rival games and things like that. 4-4-2 for me is by far the most meta formation. I think 2 striker formations are important this year. I think they've been important for the last couple of years. Because of the lack of crossing this year, you want sort of options in around them. So those 2 wingers acting really, they're like more the 4-2-2, if that makes sense. They're more like they were playing in the 4-2-2. More cams than anything, rather than being too wide. But you can play about the 4-4-2 a lot to really mix up your formation. But the 4-1-2-1-2 second variation only became, in my opinion, really meta in the last month. But for me, it's the go-to for seeing a game out. It's compact, it's tight, it forces them wide using my tactics. And force them wide is what you want to do because crosses are so ineffective this year. If they're going to cut back in, all you really need to do is jockey and bring in the second man. It stops them cutting it back in, it boxes them into a corner, and it just wastes time down. If you're holding a 1-0 or a 2-1 win or something like that, it just boxes them into a corner, which is perfect. And then the 3-4-1-2, the 3-4-1-2 acts realistically like a 5-back because you bring back the wingers on defence, but on attacking, you've literally got so many players bombing forward. Again, something to be mindful of with a lot of tactics that I use is I have pacey defenders. They're all very pacey. None of my defenders have less than 90 pace. Shadows attached to them, my anchors attached to them. They've got a lot of pace. They're able to really sort of trap back it and get back if I do get caught out. But they are my elite custom tactics for FUT champs or division rivals. Try them out. I promise you they'll get you better. I've spent ages this year crafting them and making them to the level that I like them. I gave them to some of the guys in the Discord and they jumped up 1 or 2 ranks. But that is going to be the end of the video. Hopefully it has helped you guys. As always, if you're new around here, please do consider subscribing down below and clicking the like button. It's massively appreciated. Comment down below anything else you want to see. There will be an update regarding the Road to Glory in the next sort of day or two. Long story short is while FUT champs is so messed up at the moment, for me, grinding out Road to Glory is very, very difficult to get motivated for. But yeah, like I say, comment down below and tell me what you want to see. But for now, I am out. Peace out. I will speak to you soon.